I let my best friend into my house, but I didn't know she was already in my bed. The betrayal didn't come with a warning, it came with a vibration on a marble countertop. I was standing in my bedroom, watching my best friend of 12 years, Sarah, slip into my brand new silk dress that I hadn't even worn yet. She looked at herself in the mirror, smoothing the fabric over her hips, while I tried to force a smile, still hollowed out from my breakup with Liam just 3 weeks prior. I was still at the stage where I couldn't eat without feeling nauseous, spending my nights sobbing into a pillow that still smelled like his cologne. Sarah had been my rock, or so I thought, bringing me ice cream and listening to me wonder where it all went wrong after 4 years together. Then, her phone lit up. It was sitting right next to me. A missed call from my love with a red heart emoji. I don't know why I did it, maybe it was some sixth sense, or maybe I just wanted to see who was making her so happy while I was drowning, but I tapped the notification. The number staring back at me was burned into my brain. It was Liam's. My breath hitched, a cold, sharp blade of ice cutting through my chest. I felt the world tilt on its axis as I stared at those 10 digits. I looked up at Sarah, who was still admiring herself in my mirror, and the room went red. I didn't ask, I screamed. I told her to get out, to take the dress, to take her lies, and to never let me see her face again. I was hysterical, pushing her toward the door while she scrambled, half-dressed and panicked. She started crying, those crocodile tears I used to find so comforting, and then she said the words that shattered the last remaining piece of my heart. Sarah looked at me with a mix of pity and defiance and sobbed, "He just loved me, he couldn't stay with you anymore. Why can't you understand that we have something real? You didn't even love him the way I do anyway." I felt like I had been physically struck. I shoved her out into the hallway, slammed the door, and bolted it, collapsing against the wood as her muffled cries faded down the hall. It was only when I crawled back onto my bed, gasping for air, that I saw it. In her haste to flee my rage, she had left her phone face down on the duvet. The phone wasn't locked. Sarah was always careless like that. I picked it up with shaking hands, my vision blurred by tears, and opened their message history. I expected to see a few weeks of flirting. What I found was a digital archive of my own destruction. They didn't start after the breakup, they had been together for 2 years. 2 years. While Liam was taking me out for our anniversary dinners, he was texting her from the bathroom telling her he wished she was there. While Sarah was holding my hand when my grandmother passed away, she was secretly sending him photos of herself in my bathroom while I was in the other room. I scrolled through hundreds of messages, each one a fresh wound. He would write things like, "She's finally asleep, I'm coming over now," on nights I thought he was working late. They had a whole separate life. My best friend and the man I thought I would marry had turned my entire existence into a Truman Show-style lie. The gallery was the worst part. There were photos of them on vacations I didn't know they took, in hotels paid for with money he told me he was saving for our future home. But then I saw the videos. Videos filmed in her bedroom, some even in the background of our shared hangouts. There was one video where I could hear my own voice in the distance, laughing in the kitchen with other friends, while they were behind a closed door being intimate. The level of sociopathy required to do that, to look me in the eye every single day for 2 years while sharing a bed with my partner, was beyond my comprehension. I sat there for hours, the blue light of the screen burning into my retinas, watching the evidence of their betrayal play out in high definition. I realized then that I wasn't the crazy girlfriend for sensing he was pulling away, I was just the only person in the room who wasn't in on the joke. I didn't call them. I didn't send a single text. Instead, I started downloading everything. I sent every photo, every video, and every incriminating text thread to my own email. I sent them to his mother, who had always treated me like a daughter. I sent them to our mutual friends who had been told I was suffocating Liam, which is why he supposedly had to leave. Then, I went to their social media. Sarah had just posted a cryptic photo of 2 wine glasses at a sunset a week ago with the caption, "Finally where I belong." I commented from her own phone. "With your best friend's boyfriend of 4 years? Here is the proof." I uploaded a dump of their 2-year-old anniversary photos directly to her feed. I watched the likes and comments start to roll in, the shock, the disgust, the fallout. By the time Sarah realized she'd left her phone and came back knocking on my door, the entire world knew exactly who she was. I didn't open the door. I just sat in the silence of my bedroom, finally done crying, and listened to her scream on the other side. She had my address, but I had the truth, and for the first time in months, I could finally breathe.